Now you guys know we had some new accounts come in, something unprecedented that no prop firm is doing. Starting yesterday, March 17th until March 31st, you can purchase where there is no max loss and no daily loss limit. No max loss limit and no daily loss limit. Of course, a lot of you guys know this already. No trade limits per day. There's no maximum amount of trades. Trading hours restrictions is always going to be from 6 p.m. Eastern. This is all in the same day. So 6 p.m. Eastern, meaning you got into a trade yesterday at 6 p.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern the next day. That's considered like one trading day. So you can trade overnight into the overnight open until the New York close. That's what this is. So you see 6 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, which is the next day. All right. So we talked about the news. No trading allowed 5 minutes before and after red folder news events. Real easy. All your orders must be closed prior to the event. Overnight trading not allowed, meaning you can't hold a trade from New York close into the overnight Asia session open or Australia session open, because Australia opens first overnight. So that would be considered overnight trading. That's what they mean by that. Now, these are all the different allowed instruments, products. If you have your CME bundle, then you don't even have to really worry about this, because the data that we get on the accounts, it takes care of all of that. No big deal. Trading during major holidays. You can trade anytime the market is open, so the holiday doesn't matter, right? All right, so of course, hedging is never allowed. Of course, consequences for hedging, you're gonna get repeated offenses. You're gonna result in a ban. You're gonna get banned. Multiple accounts and copy trading. Remember, with the hedge funder, you can have up to 5 accounts is the max you can have. So you can copy trade those 5 funded accounts. Actually, you can have up to 5 funded accounts, but you can actually have more. Actually, I'll take that back. Because the account is already funded, you can only have up to 5 funded accounts. That's that. You can copy trade, across your traders. You can copy trade those across your own accounts. All that's allowed. Copy trading from other traders within the firm is not allowed. You can't do that, of course, because the IP addresses are monitored. Holding trades overnight over the weekend, that's what we just talked about. Over the weekend would be 4:15 close on Friday to the open on Sunday. Can't do that. That would be weekend trading. Overnight would be close from you're in a trade before New York close and you're holding that into the overnight session. That would be considered overnight trading. You can't do that. Now, you can get into a trade at the open of the overnight session, which is 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern, and then you can trade that until the New York session. All right, so your trades, of course, have to be closed by the market close. Otherwise, your account is automatically liquidated. So remember that. If you forget and you let the trade go or you don't close it in time, you get up, you get on the phone, something happened, your account will be liquidated and, you lose the account. It's just the way it goes. Just don't get caught there. Now, let's get into these clarifications of this drawdown. No max loss limit and no daily loss limit until profit threshold is reached. Your account remains active until it reaches a zero balance. Now, this is the part that's unprecedented. Think about that. That means even though you may not be above the threshold. So let's get into this first one because it can be a little confusing. So the no max loss limit is always there no matter what. The no daily loss limit kicks in once the account gets into the once the profit threshold in the account is reached. Once your realized profit meets the threshold, the daily loss limit activates permanently for that account. So in your 25K account, when your account gets to $26,500, because you have a $1,500 profit, right? When this 25K account gets to $26,500, because that would be the profit threshold, the payout threshold, then your daily loss limit kicks in. It doesn't kick in no time before that. And then your daily loss limit becomes $500 daily loss limit. That's not a bad thing. Basically, this is a safeguard to protect your account. It's not a hindrance. You want this. That prevents you from demo trading and overtrading and all of that stuff. It protects your account. Now, if your account before your account reaches this payout threshold, there is no daily loss limit, as this is stated. And also, there's no max loss limit ever when you purchase these accounts between March 17th and March 31st. What that means is, just as it's stated, your account remains active until it reaches a zero balance. Think about that. If you're in a 25K account, that means even though you may be in the red, so to speak, and you're all the way deep into drawdown, you can still be trading this account at like 8,000, 9,000. It started at 25K, but you could still be trading it. That means it still gives you an opportunity to what? To get that account to the payout threshold. There is no prop firm doing this. Nowhere close. Think about that. That's extremely powerful. That means what? They're giving a trader the opportunity to get that account on track. They're not hitting you up with the drawdown and all of this stuff. On the accounts, once again, purchased between March 17th and March 31st. Very, 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 very powerful rules and the most opportune time to grab your accounts. If you look at the payout threshold, is double the amount of the 25K because that's conducive to double the amount of the account, right? So we're just breaking it down for you so you get a firm understanding, okay? And then your daily loss limit doubles once you meet the 3,000. So in your 50K account, when this account hits 53,000, you have met the payout threshold, right? That doesn't mean you can take a payout right there. That means you've met the threshold. Now you have to get the account up to be able to request a payout, but you've met the threshold. So once again, in this 50K account, the max loss limit still remains active until the account balance reaches to zero. So that means in this 50K, you can get down once again to 3,200. Like, the account does not blow until it gets to zero. Once again, there is no prop firm doing this in this space. That's why TEF is so much better, because our co-founders are traders. Yeah, they're in business to make money, but they're traders. And because they're traders, they're making the Edge Funder trader friendly. Think about that. Trader friendly. How can you not win with these rules? I mean, if your account gets down to zero, you know what that will tell you? You're not ready for live trading. You need to be going back and back testing, demo trading, doing a one-on-one with a coach. You need to work on your game, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have had to do that to get to becoming a consistent, profitable trader. Everyone had their shortcomings, even our co-founders. I'm skipping over 100K and 150K because it's pretty much the same thing. If you look, as the count doubles, so does the daily loss limit, so does the payout threshold. It's conducive to the account. So it's pretty much the same, it's just a bigger account. Everything else stays the same. So if your account gets down, you still can only make 20% of that account each trading day to get it back up. So just remember that. Just because there's no max loss limit, there's still a consistency rule. If you make more than a consistency rule, that amount from a percentage perspective will be added on to your payout threshold. And instead of your payout threshold being 1,500, 3,000, 6,000, or 9,000, depending on the account, it can be extremely more. So keep your payout, your consistency rule percentage intact. It's 20% across all the accounts. It's very, very simple. And it even states it. If a trader surpasses the 20% consistency limit, the day will not count towards their 7 minimum trading days. It won't count. And you know what else happens? Their profit target for payouts will increase by the amount plus the percentage they exceeded the limit. Meaning this 9, 6, 3, or 1,500, that is going to be higher. So don't do that to yourself. Understand what that is. Understand how to find that. Now we're going to talk about the withdrawals. There's a couple of things that you have to have. You have to have successfully completed 7 trading days. 7 trading days. 7 trading days. Number 1, there are no processing fees for withdrawals. Traders may withdraw 50% of profits up to the maximum of $5,000 per account. There is no cooldown period between withdrawals. Traders may withdraw whenever they meet the requirements. So you have to meet the requirements, meaning if you take a withdrawal after completing 7 trading days, you have to do that again, complete another 7 trading days to be eligible for your next payout. And you can still only take up to 50% of the profits to a maximum of $5,000 per account. So remember, to get to a payout, you have to hit the payout threshold and successfully complete 7 trading days. The minimum withdrawal per account is $150. That's the minimum you can take. The maximum is 50% of $5,000. But in order for you to take a minimum, you have to have at least 300 to be able to take the 150. Keep that in mind. You have to have 50%. You can take 50% of profits up to a maximum of 5,000. So to take a maximum of 5,000, what do you have to have? You got to have 10 bands of profits in that account. To take a minimum of 150, you got to have at least 300 because it's 50% of profits. Now, once again, traders are advised to wait until funds are removed from the account to prevent a denial, meaning if you put in a withdrawal for a payout, don't start trading the account until you get your payout. Because you put in a withdrawal, you happen to, God forbid, you take a trade, it goes against you. That amount that you put the withdrawal in for is not there anymore. So that could possibly cause a denial because you're asking for something that's not there. So be patient. When you put your withdrawal in, wait till you get your payout, let it process. Then when it processes and you see that the account balance has changed based upon the payout that you took, then you go back and trade in that account. Just be patient. It says payouts are processed instantly after approval. But remember, that's still subject to your banking time. So keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Now, let's get to the profit splits on the withdrawals. Once again, traders can withdraw up to 50% of profits up to $5,000 per account after meeting the profit threshold. After 4 successful payouts, traders can withdraw up to 100% of profits with a 90-10 split. Meaning, for every $100 that you were drawing, 90 of it goes to you, 10 of it goes to the prop firm. So that's what that means. And once again, traders only need to meet the 7-day requirements within the rules for the first payout to continue withdrawing. There you go. So I said you have to do it each time. I correct myself. Traders only need to meet the 7-day requirements within the rules after the first payout to continue withdrawing. Should be very clear there. Disqualification for over-leveraging. Traders attempting to bypass scaling rules by stacking multiple small accounts will have their accounts liquidated, meaning you're over-leveraging. You have to follow the scaling rule. There's a scaling rule there, and it tells you what that is. Holding max contracts across multiple accounts simultaneously is allowed. That's allowed. The max contracts, meaning you're staying within the scaling rule. Refund policy for accounts on purchases and resets. No refunds will be given for any reason. So just remember that when you buy an account, it's yours. Make sure you're buying the right account. Make sure you're buying the right size. Funds from an inactive account cannot be transferred to a new one. Remember, every account is individual and separate of itself. They don't cross-reference in no kind of way. The only time that they would kind of cross-reference is when you're copy trading them. That's about it, but you can't cross funds from one to another. Withdrawal methods. Traders have to create an account with Rise once eligible to receive their funds. You will not be eligible to create this account until you reach the payout threshold. Keep that in mind. Slippage and technical failures. Traders are responsible for exiting positions before slippage occurs during news events. This happens, but it's your responsibility to do that. If slippage causes a rule violation, the account will follow the set rules automatically. Appeals for disconnection, slippage, or platform-related errors will be reviewed only if it is a widespread system event. Everything else is handled on a case-by-case basis. So, banned traders may email support@theedgefunder.com to submit an appeal. So if you get banned, you can appeal it. Because we understand that everything is on a case-by-case basis. No specific waiting period for reapplication. You can appeal at any moment. Reviews will take as much time as necessary on a case-by-case basis. So just keep that in mind. Platform-specific restrictions. Platforms approved for trading on TF are Volumetrica, TradingView, Volsys, Volumetrica Mobile, and Quant Tower. I think most of us know this. Execution quality will be monitored frequently to prevent unrealistic fills or latency trading exploits. Real simple. The rules are very simple. Spamming support requests. Repeated support requests, multiple payouts before eligibility is met will cause further delays, meaning you only need to put in one request. Putting in multiple requests is not going to make your requests get answered any quicker than the first one you put, because it goes in a queue and they get answered in the order. So if you're putting multiple, then once they answer your first one, there's going to be other ones sitting there. All it's going to do is tie up the queue. Don't do that. Just put in one support. That's all you need. Now, if you have multiple different issues, then you can put in a support request per the issue. There it is. And you wait for a response before resubmitting a similar request. Scaling and holding times. No minimum trade hold time required. You can hold it for as long as you want. No restrictions on scalping. You just got to remember on your times. You have to trade within the window, the 6 p.m. Eastern to the 4 p.m. Eastern. That's overnight open to New York close. Very simple. Expert advisors, bots, or automation tools are strictly prohibited. You can't use any of that stuff. If the system detects it, you're going to be instantly banned. Period. There's no questions about that. Account and reset and reinstatement. Traders who blow their account, exceed max loss, can reset for a fee. There's the fees. $25K, $159. $50K, $319. $100K, $395. $150K, $459. That's a reset. And you can reset your account up to 3 times. That's the max. After 3 times, that's it. Once you blow the account after the 3rd reset, it's done. You can't reset it. Inactive policy. 1 trade per month before account renewal is required to keep the account active. 1 trade per month. Very simple. Accounts inactive for more than one month before your account renewal will be suspended. And there's nothing you can do about that. So if you know that you didn't trade in that account for a month and your renewal came and your account gets suspended, don't put in no support ticket, because it's strictly, that's the rule. Scaling plan enforcement. If a trader exceeds their contract limit before reaching the profit threshold, the day will not count towards their minimum trading days, right? Because you exceeded the contract limit. That's the scaling plan enforcement. You have to stay within the amount of contracts per the account. Like, you have to do that. It's your responsibility to know that. That's why it's good to read all the rules. There's an automatic system in place to prevent traders from exceeding their allowed contracts. And there it is.